The boycott was initiated in 1956 by two friends, Wilhelmina Jakes and Carrie Patterson, who attended the Florida A&M University. The two young women, just in their 20s, were told to move to the back by the driver, but the bus was already crowded to begin with, so they refused. The driver called the police, causing them to be arrested and charged with the intent to initiate a riot. Following the arrest of Jakes and Patterson, it wasn't too long until the students at FAMU heard the news and decided to take quick action. Seeing the protest that took place encouraged fellow Tallahassee residents to join in and protest against segregation and discrimination by sacrificing public transportation.
What events led to the formulation of the Inner Civic Council?
Of course, you know that in December of 1955, there was nationally publicized bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama. But 5 months after the beginning of that, two co-eds from A&M were put off the bus because of sitting in the front, because they refused to give their seats to whites, and they refused to give them their money back, and they were arrested. And it was from that incident that we organized the Inner Civic Council. The NAACP, I was president of it. The Interdenominational Alliance, Dr. James Hudson was president of it. We called a meeting of leaders. We appointed a committee to go see the city manager and the manager of the bus company to see if we could get some understanding, which we did not get. We reported a mass meeting that night, at which time they voted to come off the buses, which demanded some kind of organization. NAACP had been banned in Alabama, and we were afraid they would do the same thing in Florida. So they decided to organize a new organization called the Inter-Civic Council, and I was elected as its president.
Reverend C.K. Steele formed an organization by the name of Inter-Civic Council, or ICC. The ICC created a pool system to help blacks get around the city of Tallahassee. Government officials responded by charging the ICC with operating an illegal for-hire operation without a franchise. Reverend Steele was among those arrested.
Reverend Steele's slogan for the Tallahassee bus boycott movement became, "I would rather walk in dignity than ride in humiliation." Reverend C.K. Steele wanted justice for not just these students, but all African Americans. Bethel Missionary Baptist Church was a common place where Reverend C.K. Steele and others would meet to organize the protest. Bethel Missionary Baptist Church was important to the Tallahassee bus boycott because there were multiple social events held here that brought the city together. The organization of the protest lasted from May 1956 to December of 1956, but the boycott was not officially declared over until May of 1958. The efforts of Steele and others led to the desegregation of the city's public transportation system and encouraged others to challenge racial inequalities.
Interesting facts about Reverend C.K. Steele, leader of the Tallahassee bus boycott. In 1957, he helped Martin Luther King organize the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. He served as its vice president and participated in many national civil rights protests, including the famous march in Selma, Alabama. He graduated from the School of Religion at Morehouse in 1938. He was arrested 4 times in a single day while operating a carpool for black people boycotting a bus on a charge of operating a transportation system without a franchise. He also endured the firebombing of his home by whites hoping to scare him. Before his death in 1979 from bone cancer, Steele was awarded an honorary doctorate from FSU, making him the first African American honored by the school. And finally, when asked to lead a conference of civil rights leaders by civil rights organizer Bayard Rustin, Steele respectfully declined and suggested that Martin Luther King would be a better fit instead.